Hi guys, I hope you're all good and you're taking care of yourselves. I'm just here to share a bit of a story with you guys, testimony, if you want to put it like that. So at the beginning of the quarantine, I was really excited about the opportunity to rest and to recover from 2019. Very hectic, yeah. Anyway, so I took the first couple of days and I rested. After the resting, the being physically alone, being on lockdown in isolation, started to emphasize in me the aloneness, the sense of being alone. And as I was feeling like this, I started to think, oh, how lucky are the people that are married, people that have partners, people that are in relationships. Even if you're not staying with the person, you can call and have beautiful conversations and all of that stuff, which is something I don't have as a single person. Anyway, so as I'm having these thoughts, and then it just goes deeper. So now I'm starting to think like, okay, is this what being single is meant to be like? As in, if I'm not gonna meet my husband for like 10 years, then that means I have to be alone and lonely for 10 years. So I'm like, okay, let me go back to the creator, the one that created me. He's gonna know the plan better. So then I'm having the conversation with God. I'm like, God, I don't understand this. Is this what being single is supposed to be like? It's, for me, it seems like there's some disconnect here. Because I really do not believe that you created me to be lonely until my person comes, which is when you know I don't. I really don't believe that. I don't believe that my life only begins when that person arrives. For me, it feels like there's something I'm missing in the season, like something I'm not. Two and two is not adding up to four. Anyway, so during this conversation I'm having with God, God starts to reveal a lot of things to me. One of them being there is being single, there's being alone, there's the weight, all these phrases that you've heard people use. So now I'm starting to research and ask more, what do all these mean? What is season of singleness? I've heard it being said multiple times, but I never inquired more to it. I just took it at face value. Then I came to the realization that being single and being in the season of singleness are two completely different things. So being single is the standard. Yeah, you're single. You don't have a man. You don't have a goal. You're single. But then a season of singleness goes deeper than that. Season of singleness is when God has called you to isolate yourself, or to extract yourself from the world, the relationships, other relationships, and just focus on Him. Other relationships as in romantic relationships. So now I started to get to understand that, oh, okay, I'm not just single, but I am in a season of singleness. But then still that doesn't answer my question. This loneliness aspect, which is, I don't know if to say heightened in this current situation. And then, so I started doing more research on what, in the biblical sense, what does the Bible say about being single? What should I be doing as a single person to be fulfilled? Because for me, my thinking was, I refuse to accept that my fulfillment, my wholeness is gonna come only when I meet this magic man. No, that's not adding up to me. I'm like, I have Christ now. Isn't He the one who's supposed to fill me up to the max, supposed to complete me? Why is it supposed to be a man? Like, it doesn't add up. Anywho, so I continued with my quest and my research, like asking God, praying about it, and researching, like, what do other people experienced this? How have they handled it? What answers have they received? Other people, Christian people, because I wanted a Christian answer. Anyway, so I found this girl who was talking about she's been in the season of singleness, this journey of singleness for about 3 years. She was talking about how when she started and she was praying, God revealed to her that being a person who was born not in church, out in the world, we tend to start by developing relationships with men, a female with men. And now God is calling you to him, to develop a relationship with him. So that is the whole season of singleness for her. That's what God were answering her. That you started off developing and establishing relationships with men. Now I'm calling you to myself. I'm calling you to put a pause on the relationships with boys and come to me, pursue me as your creator. And in that pursuing me as your God, as the one that created you, you get to find yourself. My neighbor is starting his car. How wonderful. Anyway, sorry about that, guys. So in searching for God, for more of God, pursuing more of God, that's where God will reveal more of himself to you. And then she also expressed about this loneliness thing, about that. Firstly, it's not a typical. We feel lonely from time to time. We as in single people, you are going to feel lonely. But then once you go back and you ask God about the loneliness, because there's different ways where you can handle the loneliness. There are plenty of ways where you can fill that void and fill that gap. But then if you want a sustainable way to fill that void and fill that gap, that's where you go back to God and be like, big guy, this is how I'm feeling. I am lonely right now. I wish I had a boyfriend. I wish I had a girlfriend. This and this. Then God is going to come through. In this girl's case, God showed her, like, go and review your prayer patterns. Go and review when was the last time you meditated on the word. When was the last time you spent time in my presence? And then, honest to God's word, when she reviewed, which was the same case for me, there were gaps in the time I was spending in God's presence. There were gaps in the time I was actively pursuing more of God, which resulted in being lonely. And then I went back and I compared it to just relationships with other humans. Even if you have a person there, if you're not paying attention with them, if you're not being intentional to spend time with them, there will be gaps, which was leading into the loneliness. So from all of this, in my case, God just spoke volumes in me about being intentional about pursuing him. And that loneliness is okay. We do feel lonely, but the way to handle the loneliness is by going back again to him. It's normal thing. But then the one person who can truly fill that void is God, more than other people. And I feel like it's an unrealistic expectation to expect other human beings, limited human beings, to fill such a void, which only our Creator can fill. So in this journey, I got to understand better what being single, what singleness is. And one of the key things that I understood is you are never, ever alone, which is contrary to how I was feeling at the beginning of this quest. You are never alone. God is 24/7 there. The starting of this journey is God calling you to himself. So there is no way that you're feeling alone. Those feelings of being alone are false. It's not true. It's just that I need to go back to why I started my journey, to be true to why I started my journey, which was to pursue more of God. So I start to feel lonely. I start to feel alone when I'm no longer pursuing God. So it's almost like it's a constant reminder that, oh, you're drifting away from the main objective of this entire journey. So now I am happy to say, like, I am really excited about this journey of singleness. I'm very content at the moment. Yes, there are ups and downs. There are times when you're gonna feel, oh, all single ladies on top. But then there are times where you are gonna feel down and be like, I wanna be booed up. All my friends are booed up. That's the time when you go back to God. Singleness is a gift from God. 1 Corinthians 7:7 says that, Paul says that, tells us that being single is a gift from God. Yes, ultimately we all want to be coupled up. We all want the one true love. That is going to come. But I would hate to get to that stage And then 5-10 years down the line, I'm like, I wish I had done ABCD while I was still single. So, which is why now in my singleness, in my single season, I am inviting God to open my eyes so I can live my single life to the fullest and not miss anything, because I want to, when I'm getting there, walking down that altar, having no regrets and being like, I live this life. I live the singleness, a godly single life at that. I lived it and I am okay. I don't want to now go into a different season and still be having things that I was supposed to do in the previous season that I still have not done. I want to discover things. I want to travel. I want to discover myself, more importantly. So going into the next season, I am fully aware of who Viwe is. So my encouragement is, if you are feeling lonely, which is very likely if you are physically alone, just remember you are not alone. God is always there. God, you are not single because you are not wanted, which are some of the feelings that might pop up. You feel like, I am single because nobody wants me. Nobody will ever want me. I am unlovable. That is completely untrue. Nobody wants you more than God wants you. He wants you so bad that he is taking you from other men out there in the world and wanting you for himself in this season. So this is the best time to go back in the word and go find yourself more. By seeking more of God, that's where you find yourself. I find things about me and be like, oh my God, I am amazed. Like every time I intentionally pursue him, he reveals myself to me. It's like a mirror. The closer you get to it, the more you see yourself, the more the reflection becomes clearer. So I just want to encourage people who are feeling alone in this time, hang in there, babes, and seek more of God. Like, he is very faithful. He is, a friend once said, nobody can God like God. And I truly, truly promise you, nobody can God like God. He is amazing. He will reveal, he'll give you your heart's desires. And yes, ultimately, we all want a partner. I emphasize on that. We do. We were built to want community, to want people around us. But right now, you have God. Right now, you have your family. Right now, you have your friends. Yes, you can only access them via technology, but God, you can access like that. So that's all I had to share. That's what has been happening to me. Yes, it's not easy being alone, but facing these fears, when you get those thoughts of I'm alone and all of that stuff, bringing them to God and not just trying to shove them down, it really helped me a lot. Because if I had continued to shove them down, I wouldn't have gotten the answers that I need to continue on the journey and to make sure, as I was thinking, I was reminded of the Israelites who spent 40 years in the desert when they didn't have to. That was not a 40-year journey, but they got to spend 40 years because they were missing something. So I never wanna take a journey that is supposed to take 2 days for me to take years. So I always invite, in every journey, I always invite God to open my eyes, to open me up, to see what he wants me to see and to learn what he wants me to learn in each and every single season. So even in this season, ask God to open you up, to open your eyes, to open your spiritual eyes, so you get to see everything that he has placed there and you get to learn everything that he wants you to learn and expose you to in that season, so that going forward to the next stage of your life, you are fully equipped with everything that God would like you to be equipped with. So enjoy, take care of yourselves. I hope I wasn't speaking too fast, but yeah, thank you guys for listening, and be sure to subscribe to the channel and share with other people you think this would be relevant to. Thank you guys. Bye bye.